Welcome to Movie Caps. Today, I will show you an action movie from 2005, titled, Chaos. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. In the beginning, an accident occurs at the Pier Street Bridge. Soon the police arrive, but a man named John Curtis, who appears to be a carjacker, slides out of the damaged car and holds a girl hostage. The police try to negotiate with him, but eventually shoot him as he does not cooperate. Detective Connors and his teammate Jason York are charged for the shootings. Another cop, Kahlo, testifies against them and Connors gets suspended, while York is fired from the police department. After some time, a group of robbers under Lawrence's supervision attack a bank and hold people hostage. As they go on with their plan of closing all the entrances and exits, an employee presses the alarm, but gets killed by the robbers. Soon, the police arrive and try to talk to the robbers, but they demand to bring Connors on board. As he is currently suspended from his job, Captain Martin visits him at his house, along with Junior Detective Shane Decker, and requests his help. Although Connors does not want to get involved amid his suspension, he eventually agrees to join in, as Shane is appointed as assistant in the case. Connors arrives at the scene, but Kahlo, who has been leading the case since the beginning, argues with Martin for handing over the charge, and leaves the case. As Connors starts working on the case, Martin asks Shane to report if he plans something against the rules, revealing he is hired to keep an eye on Connors' actions. Connors talks to Lawrence, who tells him about the number of hostages, and confesses to killing one of them. Connors asks for his demands from the police, but he drops the call, informing them that he will be contacting them again. While discussing the situation with his team, Connors realizes Lawrence is trying to buy some time, but he suggests they should break into the bank instead. Detective Teddy disagrees with his approach, but he remains firm on his decision, saying the delay can result in further casualties. While discussing the plan, Connors suggests cutting off the power to manually open the locks, and everyone agrees with his idea. Connors orders his team to take their positions, while Lawrence realizes the police are up to something, so he plans his counterattack. Connors asks the team to stand by, but finds out Lawrence has set a trap for them. He orders them to stop, but they keep on moving forward, and get hit by the explosion set by Lawrence and his team. It creates panic, and the hostages start running out of the bank, while the police get inside but can't find Lawrence. After getting out of the bank, Connors is informed that the hostages could not see the face of the robbers as they kept their masks on, but he orders to investigate the hostages, considering any one of them can be a suspect. Connors then checks the security footage, but they can't find anything, as it went out with the power outage. He is informed that an Arab prince has kept his belongings in a locker box, and it is suspected that the robbers were after it, as they did not steal any money. Meanwhile, Shane listens to the call again, and finds out Lawrence has hinted at the chaos theory. While having lunch with Connors, he explains it to him, telling him that the theory describes a phenomenon, where the events appear random at first, but a pattern later starts to emerge, which can be mathematically explained. As they talk, Connors is called back, and he leaves while placing a $10 bill as a share, which Shane replaces for a $20 bill. Upon coming back to the bank, he is shown the footage of the bank, where a criminal named Damon Richards is spotted coming out with the hostages. Connors and his team find his address and raid the apartment, where he lives with his girlfriend Gina Lopez. As soon as they knock on the door, Damon starts firing at them and runs away, while Detective Vincent catches Gina. Shane starts chasing Damon as he leaves in a truck. Despite Damon's multiple attempts to dodge him, Shane keeps on following him, until he and Connors eventually manage to catch him. As Teddy and Connors discuss the case at the police station, Shane arrives and informs that Gina does not know anything about Damon's involvement with the robbery. Connors and Vincent go back to Damon's house, where they find a bag full of cash, along with the other stuff. Upon tracking the serial numbers of the notes, it is revealed they are from another robbery that happened earlier. Shane is also informed that the notes have a special scent that reveals they are taken from the police's evidence room. After coming back to the police station, Connors and Shane go to the evidence room, and get permission to go inside after making an entry in the paper. While looking around the room, Connors finds out that evidence money has been missing for a long time. He questions the security officer about it, but he does not remember anything, and asks them to go through the papers, as they contain everyone's signatures who visit the room. Connors finds out it was Detective Kahlo who took the money, and they suspect he was working with Lawrence. Connors thinks they should investigate him, but Shane disagrees, saying if he was working with them, the robbers should have asked to talk to him instead of Connors. As they discuss the possible scenarios, they receive a call informing them about Kahlo's murder. While investigating his murder, the police also find a piece of evidence that proves his alliance with Lawrence and the team. While at Kahlo's house, they receive another call from Lawrence, who discloses he is seeking revenge. Soon it's revealed he is actually after Connors. Meanwhile, Captain Martin tells them the robbery wasn't about the prince's possessions, as he had already taken his deposits out of the bank. Connors and Shane discuss the situation, but they seem to have reached a dead end, as they can't figure out the reason behind Kahlo's murder, so Shane suggests they go back to the bank and start from the beginning. After going back, Shane asks to play the security footage again, and finds out the robbers intentionally tried to hide a specific corner. They discover it's where the regional manager sits, so Connors asks his team to hack into his computer, and find out what they did with it. As he gets to work, Connors takes his team for lunch, where they again ask Shane about the chaos theory, but make fun of him, teasing him to be a philosopher, as no one believes it actually exists. At the restaurant, Teddy apologizes to Connors for not standing by his side after the Pear Street Bridge incident, but he does not accept the apology, saying it's too late to sort things out. Meanwhile, Shane interrupts the conversation, and tells them they found another clue about a man named Chris Lee. While going back, Connors tells Shane that Chris used to work at a software house, but was convicted over piracy allegations, and Connors was handling his case, but it was overturned upon his suspension. They decide to raid Chris's residence to investigate, but Lawrence shoots him before their arrival. As they look around the house, Connors realizes Lawrence is about to attack Shane, so he rushes downstairs and saves him just in time. They get up and try to counterattack, but Lawrence escapes while shooting at them. After another failed attempt to find the clue, they go to the hospital to interrogate Damon Richards, who just regained his consciousness. Connors questions him, but he does not agree to tell anything, until Shane threatens him with an overdose of morphine, and he gives in. As they come out of the hospital, Connors admires his interrogation skills and calls him a hypocrite, but Shane was just bluffing him with a saline solution. Damon has given them the information, revealing Lawrence is actually Scott Curtis, the brother of John Curtis, who was murdered at the bridge. They also find the information about Lawrence's two other accomplices, Lamar Galt and Xander Harrington, and are told that the group is scheduled to meet at Lawrence's house. Captain Martin tells that Lawrence is killing his accomplices one by one, and is planning to finish the rest of them tonight. While going to Lawrence's house, Connors tells him about the bridge incident, and reveals that his mate Jason tried to shoot John Curtis, but missed and got the girl instead. John then tried to shoot back, when Connors killed him in self-defense. Connors thinks the girl died due to their mistake, but Shane assures him it was not his fault. As they wait outside Lawrence's house, they spot Lamar and Xander there. Connors' team thinks they should raid the place and catch them, but he asks them to wait until Lawrence arrives. Meanwhile, Teddy's phone rings and alarms the robbers, who start shooting at the police cars. The team breaks into the house, where Vincent and Teddy find out it was all about Connors, as Lawrence was after him. They start looking around the house when Xander attacks them, but Teddy shoots him down. Meanwhile, Lamar starts fighting with Connors, when Teddy spots a bomb and asks everyone to get out of the house. They rush out of the house just before the explosion. Shane asks about Connors and tries to go back, but another explosion destroys the house, apparently killing him as well, while Lawrence walks away. The rescue teams arrive and take Connors' body, while Teddy and Shane argue with Captain Martin for putting him in this situation. Upset by Connors' death, Shane sits at his desk when the guy from the bank arrives and reveals the shocking truth that the robbers stole around $1 billion, but did it through transactions from multiple accounts, using the regional manager's computer. He asks about Shane's next move to resolve the case, but he informs them that the case is out of their jurisdiction, and they can't do anything about it. Devastated by the situation, Shane leaves the office, but receives another call from Lawrence, who reveals he only killed those who deserved it. After listening to the call, Shane comes back to the office and tries to find any other clues. He also tells Captain Martin about the call asking for his help, but he does not believe Lorenz would call him now. Shane goes through the documents again, and finds out that the storekeeper Harry forged Kahlo's signatures. He realizes it wasn't Kahlo, but Harry who stole the money from the evidence room, with Kahlo's fake signatures. He investigates Harry but can't find anything important. As his next step, Shane traces the calls from Lawrence, and finds out his location at a restaurant. He arrives there and intends to arrest him, but he escapes after holding the salesgirl hostage, just as happened on the bridge. He escapes but Shane tracks him and eventually shoots him down. He goes out for a coffee with Teddy, who mourns Connor's death and shares her feelings about him. At the end of the conversation, Shane tries to pay his bill, when he realizes that his $10 bill, which he swapped with Connor's, smells the same as the currency notes from the evidence room, revealing Connors was also involved. Shane raids his house, where he finds a copy of the book Chaos from James Jellick, and realizes it was all Connors' plan, although he told he does not believe in that specific theory. While searching further, Shane finds an airplane ticket, and rushes to the airport to catch him. When he arrives at the airport, he receives a call from Connors, who confesses his plan. Connors reveals he planned out everything, from robbing the bank, to suggesting the power cutoff, and faking his own death at Lawrence's house. The scenes from the movie depict how unrelated events were connected together, just like chaos theory, as Connors discloses he and Jason were the masterminds of the plan. They recruited ex-convicts as their teammates to execute their plan, and framed Kala because he testified against them. Shane tries to find him at the airport, while Connors boards a private jet and calmly flies away. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.